A very big welcome to you, my dear Aries. So, just to let you know, I decided to continue. I continue with the court cards. So the reading is going to be shorter. And I just realized that sometimes we come to a point where we ask ourselves, is this worth it? And since I'm not doing for likes or clicks, it is worth it for me, even though it's not my language, but I like to do the English readings. They're different than the German readings, and so I am continuing. And the first thing, of course, that I show you is that the sun is in Leo. Leo's deck looks like this. Leo's deck looks like this, right? There is this wild lion that is roaring, and the sun, right? We understand that when we go to the right, the sun is here on this side and the number 8 is on this. So he's roaring into the spiritual aspect. Meanwhile, the sun is behind her saying, well, you have the strength. I give you the strength to continue whatever it is that you need to continue. And so I feel that as well. And so when we unite the 19, it becomes a 10. The 10 and the 8 becomes the 18. The subconscious is letting us know when something is really finished. And so until then, sometimes we complain. And in that complaining is like this whole life, right? And so this is what I felt as well. And so this is Sun in Leo. And of course, we have the Moon in your sign, and this is what I use. I use the sun, right? That is, of course, giving the light to the moon. And I use, of course, here the strength of the moon, which is here in Aries, and the 18 that turns into a 9 then is that completion with the 4, a 13, the transformation. A big transformation is always coming to you when the moon is in your sign, because we can look deeper into the subconscious, into those feelings that come up unexpectedly, and sometimes we wonder, where is this coming from? And it's because the moon is in your sign. And so when the moon is then in another sign, you might feel also something through that sign. And important is to know that the sun is, of course, giving the energy to the moon. And so Leo, or the strength that we get through the sun to look deeper within, is here. So we're gonna look into the court cards. We have 3 variations of the court cards. The first one I did in the last reading, but just to show you, here we have the moon, and the moon with the Queen of Wands is between the 12th to the 20th of March. This combination I did in the previous reading, so maybe you want to look at that if you are having this combination, just that you know. Then there is the classical Aries. Above here, the Emperor, the number 4, and below the Queen of Wands. The 4 and the 1 is the 5, that human aspect in you that is wanting to rule. That's between the 21st of March to the 9th of April. And then we have a third combination to the next sign, which comes after you, which is the King of Pentacles. And he has here above him still the Emperor to lead him, right? And that's between the 10th to the 20th of April. Is your birthday there? Then your this combination, just that you know, I have listed them below in the description, all the way on the bottom, right? In the clarification of the Mother Peace Tarot, I put the dates for the 2 stations, for the Queen of Wands and the King of Pentacles, which is connected on a spiritual level through the Emperor. Back to the last reading, where we had Cancer, Sun giving Aries, Moon the light. You also had the station Uranus in Gemini. He's going to stay 7 years there. And Gemini is the communication, right? And it's really interesting, when I did those readings, it just came through that we are in a shift in the way we communicate, in the way we receive the information. All of it is now like a revolution to us, right? So the Queen of Wands got Cancer. Cancer's energy is shining strong, and the King of Pentacles focus on a happy world right now. And you see here there are a lot more cards on the table, right? Because I was also doing the sun and the moon, and I'm not doing that anymore except on the full or the new moon. So we begin with the Queen of Wands. She's connected to the first house of identity and self, and she radiates the number 1. And the first card that is coming up from her deck is the Page of Pentacles. Now, what I want to do is to go deeper into the card that is coming up for you. So the first card that I pull from your deck, I will look deeper into that. Usually I'm talking about the card, but now I want to know what's going on. And so here we have the 3 zodiac signs: Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And usually I would not pull cards from the respective deck, but now I have the time to do so. Or sometimes if the minor arcana comes up and in those we have, let's say, moon in Cancer, right? Then I look at the moon deck and the Cancer deck and see what actually the 4 of Cups wants to tell us. So we have the 1 and the 3 is the 4, and that's here you, right? You on the soul aspect know that you are the Emperor. You know that now here 3 zodiac signs are coming, and they are looking at the money in a new way, and it's good for you to understand how they look at the money. And so we're going to look at that. I'm going to put you aside. So Taurus is bringing the Queen of Wands, which is you, right? And so it's affirming somehow that Taurus, the institutions, the banks, are here to support you, are here to show you you come up, right, through Taurus. And so you see that the black cat is here, the wand is here. She's looking kind of straight at you while she is looking to the left. And looking to the left from my perspective, right, it's kind of like saying, well, you are learning to really be with yourself. So you have an 11 framing the 3, a 1-1 framing the 3. And so it's really beautiful. It's kind of like the affirmation that you are connected through a young Taurus, and through that also, of course, to the institutions that support you in whatever you're doing. What is coming from Virgo? Virgo is bringing the King of Pentacles. Look at that. So it's really interesting, right? Virgo is bringing the King of Pentacles, and here the deck for the King of Pentacles brought you, and Virgo is bringing here Taurus. And so this is the number 2, and the 1 is the 3. So then in a way you have a 3-3 portal when we combine these. And so Taurus and Virgo are literally saying, okay, Taurus is saying, yes, you are the Queen of Wands. You are the person that we support. Then here we have the King of Pentacles. We have a Taurus. And Virgo is saying hard work comes through in the times that we need to put money in the bank, that we need to be vigilant with how we work with the money. And so the 3 is the 33 here. Then Capricorn, I'm going to put the Page of Pentacles down. The 7 of Pentacles is coming up. And so now Capricorn is not coming up as a person here. We have you and Taurus, And it's almost speaking about Taurus comes after you, right? So it's kind of like she is looking into that. You see that? She's looking to the king, so maybe there's a couple, the Queen of Wands and the King of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles, which is Saturn in Taurus. And when Saturn in Taurus comes, we see that things have grown to an exponential level, to the seven, to the crown chakra. Saturn is the world, and so Taurus is here. And you are looking at Taurus, and Taurus is looking into over the Seven of Pentacles. So 1, 2, the 3, and the 7 is a 10. A new cycle coming through the 3 signs, 3 earth signs. The 10 and the 3 is the 13. The 4 is appearing. And in that 4, you understand very clearly that you have to rule, that you have to do whatever it takes to do. And so here the 10 is literally saying, well, the young generation is making you act and see that the institutions are too old and that new ways through Capricorn are coming now. And people start taking the shovel and dig the earth and make their business something that they connected to the earth, because we are serving the earth. Simply, right? It's not the earth serving us. If we're dead, the earth is still there. And so we are here for the earth. And so the 13 turns into a 4. So it's really beautiful what's happening here, right? With these 3 zodiac signs, and I'm able to look on a deeper level into it. Now, I want to see, of course, what is the Mother Peace Tarot bringing, and you get the Shaman of Swords upright, slightly to the right. And to the right, you see how here there's a blue stream coming out and leads to the ladder. That's what we speak. But here also comes the yellow, which turns into orange and then into the red. And the red turns into the butterfly. And the butterfly connects here again with the ladder. So there is a cycle in this, right? And this is the 11th zodiac sign. This is Aquarius. And so the clarification is saying, well, Aquarius is important right now because Pluto is in Aquarius for 20 years. So we're going to have a completely different outlook to this life. And so I want to see what this card is saying to each of them. So we have here the Aquarius. Aquarius, the 11 and the 3, the 3rd of November or the 11th of March as a date. And I think new way of communicating and interacting is happening in the financial situation, in the way you see the earth and the communication and the communities that are forming. Also then in the way the finances, the banks, the institutions are operating. We are understanding more and more that things are changing and shifting through Aquarius, through the internet, through the technology. And we're also going to see here that the career is shifting, because in the career we see that we arrive very clearly at a new stage, right? And this is what you're feeling. And so here the 11 and the 3 becomes the 14. And the 14 is temperance. In temperance, we see that we can become centered, that we can become neither right, neither left. We become centered, and no party is gonna like push us and make the other one bad or villain. We wanna all have a good time here, respective of what's happening here in this planet. And so in the middle is the solution, right? And then out of the 14 comes the 5. So you understand how important that is, right? And that's what Aquarius is bringing. Aquarius is bringing that to us. Now, just to understand that also the Queen of Wands, right, is here. And with the King of Swords, we see a 111 portal, 3 times the 1. And 3 times the 1, it's like the self-empowerment, right? Or the 3 pages, that brought, of course, you, that brought Taurus, the King of Pentacles, and that brought the 7 of Pentacles, which is Saturn in Taurus. And Saturn is ruling Capricorn. So the world is going through a big shift with the way we see the value, with the way we see work, right? 3 times the 1. You see that you are going to be affected by this because Uranus, like I said, is now in Gemini for 7 years. And Gemini is also an air sign, but here we have Aquarius. He's a king, so he has that power to let you know, change the way you see this world, change the way you think this world should be, right? And so this is the message for the Queen of Wands. Now we go to the King of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles is getting the Knight of Swords, and that's Gemini. Like I said, Gemini now is playing a major part because Uranus is in the house of Gemini, is in the house of communication, and you see he's coming at you strongly, right? He's behind you. Look at that. And it's almost like he's attacking you, verbally attacking you. And so here the 3 and the 2 is the 5. There is this human interaction in the world, right, that attacks others because they're sitting here and holding on to the money. And the knights are rather this type of personalities that come and say, well, we don't want to live like this anymore, right? And so things have to shift, things have to change. It's important. But I want to see what is actually the Knight of Swords bringing Gemini. What is Gemini bringing? He's bringing the 5 of Cups. And the 5 of Cups is Mars in Scorpio. And Scorpio is, of course, the emotional aspect from a king, because Scorpio is the King of Cups. And you see the 5 of Cups are behind this Knight of Swords. The 3 and the 5 is an 8. The 8 and the 2 also a 10, right? And the Queen of Wands had a 10 through the Queen of Wands, through the King of Pentacles, and through the 7 of Pentacles. She had a 10, and now here is a 10 as well. So see that the 10 is a new one. The 10 is a new beginning. But it's almost like Gemini is literally saying, hey, something is not feeling right. And the aspect of Mars in Scorpio, we're going to look at this because this is the card where I want to go deeper into. We're going to see that here's a 5 as 2 people fight, and here is a 5. So this 5-5 portal is like there is a sadness, there is an attack, there is something happening here verbally, and it makes both of them sad. And so observe, right, and become aware that you don't want to be too aggressive, right? Particularly with the younger generation, because a king has more an older aspect in him than a knight. A knight is on his horse and he's going out there and he's like, okay, let's do it, right? So we're going to look at this card, and this is Mars. And Mars, the deck of the animal, are coming here. The lamp. The lamp is an earth sign. We see that through the triangle with the line through. And the lamp is holy, right? The lamp is always that aspect in us where we become like a child. And the lamp is the number 9 as the animals that are listed here. And the lamp is peaceful, prophetic, and patient. So you see this white spot, and it's almost like this is what we see, the head of the lamp here. It's almost like this sadness, if you allow the sadness to exist and not to push it away. And it's just because here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cups, right? 3 are empty. 1 is just emptying itself through the left foot. And on the right hand, you have 1 more cup of love. The love that is helping you to overcome whatever is happening here in this sadness. But you see this white, I almost feel like we see the head of the lamp, right? And so the 5 and the 9 is the 14, and the 14 is always temperance. And temperance is connected with Sagittarius. So the lamp is the bearer of an important message. Its contents can only be heard when a deep level of quiet has been established. Lamp energy is the honest guidance you hear from an old friend, a young child, or sometimes a surprising stranger. So I think what's important again is that the 5 is left, and so it's the lamp itself brings you the prophecy of here the 4, which is like a diamond shape, the 4 that is the soul aspect of you as the King of Pentacles. What is Scorpio bringing? Because this is here Mars in Scorpio, we get the 5 of Wands, and that's Saturn in Leo. And of course here we have Saturn and we have Leo. Leo is the strength, Saturn is the earth, and I'm not gonna go into the details of this card, right? 1 is enough. And it's a 5-5 portal though, right? With the 9 in the center. The 9 gives itself up, so the 5-5 portal stays. And in that 5-5 portal, we also get the 5 through them. So 5, 5, 5. 3 times the 5. Finding self-empowerment through the way you speak, communication, the way you not attack, right? If this happens to be you, but I think it's someone else, it's not you. You're sitting here, right? And this attack comes because the person is really sad, is really pulled in. And there is a prophecy here with the lamp. It's almost like it's pulling you down into this, and you need to look at this, but you're not looking at it. You're looking away from all these cards. You see that? And so the 5 of Wands is the action that we need to take. And in that action, sometimes there is this like childish fighting. Oh, I'm stronger than you. No, I'm stronger than you, right? And so we have the 5 of Wands. And in the 5 of Wands, we see that Saturn in Leo is like testing yourself. But 3 times the 5, self-empowerment through the solar plexus, through the sun, right? And Leo is here to let you know, take action. Just don't sit there. You feel that this is all behind you. You feel that all of this is literally behind you, the King of Pentacles, right? And so it's important that you see and look at that. So now I, of course, want to see what is the Mother Piece Tarot bringing, and it's the Ace of Discs that's coming. The Ace of Discs, right? Now, if we look at it, we see that this baby, this child is lying here and is happy and is content and it has everything it needs. So now we're going to look at what the clarification is saying to the Knight of Swords. So the 3 and the 1 is a 4. There is a force. It's almost like this person's energy or also sadness has come from a childhood situation, and in there you see that maybe you can help that child, right? Because if we remember, you are here, right? And you're not seeing this attack, but somehow you know there is an attack. It's almost like you know an attack could happen any moment. And so the 4 is here to let you know, well, Gemini, or this communication, this type of communication comes because in the childhood there was something, even though the child is happy here. Then we want to see what the Ace of Pentacles is saying to the Five of Cups. Here we get a 6 when we calculate it together, a happiness. So if you let yourself draw into this, you see clearly that you are arriving here. It's almost like go deep and look at your childhood and understand, why are you so sad? What happened really to you, right? And the 6 appears then when we unite or melt it, then you have healed, you have integrated the sadness, and you can move on. What is the lamp feeling with the Ace of Pentacles? We see the 9 and the 1 is a 10. And then a new cycle can begin. It's almost like the lamb is waiting for this child. They're both babies. They're both beginning. And there is a new beginning in the 10. It's so beautiful, right? And we see the yellow here, and we see somehow that this is working with this. There's a connection, a spiritual connection that is happening here. But the 10 is what is important when they come together. And the lamp is bringing you a prophecy that you were born, right, at that right time that is needed to become what you are now. And then the conflict, or the tests, right, that the 5 of Wands are, again a 6. So the Ace is creating a 6 with the 5 of Cups and a 6 with the 5 of Wands. And this is water, this is feminine, and this is fire, and this is masculine. So it's almost like this is the mother and this is the father of this child. But both of them can heal if they come into the 6, into self-healing. If she heals, if he heals, then the baby heals too. And I think that's the communication. That's what's coming at you, that someone is letting you know there is a healing in reconstructing that the 5 of Wands is that moment. Okay, I learn, I understand. And in that learning, I am clearly understanding that this child is you. The 2 and the 1 is the 3, and the 33 appears as the mastery with a 5-5, right? And so you understand that this message is really important, that this message is something that you need to look at on a deeper level and meditate. Meditate on the 5 of Cups and the 5 of Wands. And meditate also, of course, on the lamp that is bringing the prophecy. So this is the reading for both the Queen of Wands and the King of Pentacles. And so I hope I see you in the next reading. That's when we get the Sun in Virgo. And Virgo has come up and brought the King of Pentacles, right? This is Salvador Dali himself. And so until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.